All right, and we're in business here. So go ahead and get comfortable, like I said. Stay hydrated. Let's see, how do I minimize this part? There we go. We'll make this full screen. All right, I should be pinned. So we'll start seated so that we can get going pretty soon. We're gonna start with some breathing. So get comfy, maybe rock side to side to get your sits bones grounded. We'll roll the shoulders and maybe even reach over and give your shoulders a little massage just for a couple seconds. Just help relax the shoulders. Roll them out, shake it out. Then we'll eventually place your hands on your lap. And today we'll turn the palms facing upward to the ceiling. And we're going to take a hand mudra, which will be a very basic one. You've probably done this with me before. We'll take your first finger and your thumb together to touch and rest it on your lap. This helps with circulation, connection to the heart and mind. We'll close the eyes. Take a couple big breaths to relax. And to settle in. And as you settle, I invite you to just observe and notice what your inhales feel like. Where does the breath go as you inhale? What parts of the body move with your inhalation? What parts of the body expand? What parts of the body lengthen? Maybe you might feel the movement into your shoulders, your rib cage, low belly, even your back, and all the way down through the base of your spine. And then in turn, I will invite you to just observe what each exhale feels like. What's the sensation that you feel as you let the breath go and empty the lungs? Where's the movement in your body for each exhale? Again, could be shoulders drawing back downward. Could be the rib cage knitting back together. Or the low belly or belly button scooping back inward towards your spine. And as we sit here and start to open up the mind and the heart for our practice, I'll just invite you to observe both your inhales and your exhales. And just noticing the sensations that each of you feel individually, maybe similar or different sensations than others, but just observing. Observe the way your body feels, finding stillness without too much judgment or thinking too much into it. Think about the sensations of your body with your breath and notice what the body needs. Is the body asking you to move? Is you feeling restless, twitchy? Or are you feeling low energy, maybe a little depressed? Very slow, sloth-like movements. And there's no right or wrong answer for how you're feeling. It's just noticing. We'll take a couple breaths here to do that. Go ahead and take 3 more breaths. Nice, slow, deep inhales and exhales, in and out through the nose. Making these last 3 breaths count. Making them the biggest breath so far. Taking your time to allow and invite the breath in and relax to let all the air leave the body as you exhale. And once you finish the 3rd exhale, we'll meet our hands together in prayer position in front of the heart, and we'll bow the head forward. Create an intention for yourself. It could be an intention for the day, the week, the month, something you're grateful for, or something you want to manifest into your life, anything you'd like to set your intention to. Once you've set your intention, take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose, breathing onto the fingertips, and slowly start to open the eyes, looking down at your palms. And we're going to inhale, sweep the arms out and up to the sky. You can look up to your palms. And then exhale, sweep it all down to the side. We'll take 2 more. Inhale, sweep it out and up. Exhale out and down to the side. Good. 1 more on your own. Breath in and breath out. We'll reach the right fingertips out to the side, left hand to your thigh, and we'll let the left ear draw towards the left shoulder. So just turning the head away from your right straightened arm. Stretch out that right side of the neck. Try to relax both shoulders. Sometimes these stretches take a couple of breaths to relax into before you start to feel how much of a stretch you're in. So notice those things, adjust accordingly. And as you breathe here, you can either keep your head in this exact position if you're feeling like a good stretch is happening for you. If you're open to it with the neck today, keep the head tilted, but start to look downward over the left shoulder onto the floor. And this will kind of change the direction of where the stretch is coming from to more of that back right quadrant of the neck. And if it's not right, you can come back to neutral. Good. Keep breathing. Either stay in that neutral or this position looking downward, or if you're open to it, you can start to turn your face forward, keeping ear to shoulder, and then any amount turning your gaze upward to the ceiling. And this changes that stretch to that front right quadrant of the neck. So if it's not feeling quite right, skip it. Take one of the other two options there. We'll just take another breath or two. Awesome. So if it's not already, we're going to rotate your chin back to your left shoulder if it's not already there. Then we're going to roll the chin down to the center of your chest. Bring both hands to your knees. And then we're going to curl and round, scoop in the low belly, and we're going to round the back. Let the chin fall heavy towards the chest. You might even lean back here. Then we're going to inhale, pull the heart forward, and we're going to open the throat a little bit. You don't need to crank the neck back, and then draw the shoulders back, almost like you're doing a seated cat-cow. Okay, we'll come back to neutral spine, and then we're going to let the ear fall to the right shoulder. Left hand this time reaches out to the side. Find just the right amount of stretch for this side of the neck. Good, stay here, or if it's possible, turn your chin over to the right shoulder, gazing to the floor over the shoulder. Good, stay here, or start to rotate your ear to your shoulder, to the right shoulder, and any amount turning your gaze upwards to the ceiling, keeping the ear falling towards the right shoulder. And you know what to do here if you need to choose one of a different option for the neck. Do what you gotta do. Take some deep breaths once you get there. We'll just take one or two more here. If it is not already, rotate your chin over to your right shoulder. We'll rotate the chin down to the center of your chest. Both hands come to your knees. We're going to curl and round again, rolling the shoulders forward, almost pulling yourself back like you're in a seated cat pose. The next breath in that you take, we're going to take our seated cow, I guess you can call it. We'll pull the heart forward, shoulders back, open the throat. And then we'll come back to neutral, and we're going to get off of our seated positions, and we're going to come to hands and knees. So go ahead and set yourself up there if you need anything under the knees. I'll adjust you guys so you can see me. I think that should be good enough right there. Perfect. So we'll come to hands and knees. Once you get there, go straight to your cat-cow. Good, cool. I think you guys can see me. I apologize for all the camera angles. I got a new computer here, so I gotta figure it out. All right, cat-cows, everybody. Ooh, everything's crackling. Just move. And take another cat-cow or a couple more. And next time you're ready, we're going to come to downward facing dog just for a few moments. So adjust your hands accordingly so that the weight can be distributed through all 10 fingers. Curl the toes, and when you're ready, downward dog. Pedal it out. Rest when you need to. Relax the head and the neck. Let your gaze look towards your toes, maybe even your shins or kneecaps. Paddle out the heels if you'd like, or be still. Maybe even turn the head yes and no. You guys have all your favorites here for down dog you can incorporate in here. Just do what feels good. We've taken 2 weeks off here, so be gentle, unless you happen to be doing your yoga homework. But I know I have not done my yoga homework, so I'm very sore. Rest when you need to. Take another couple breaths in down dog if you can. And when you're ready, we're going to meet in child's pose. So take a few more breaths if possible, if you're still here. Find that discomfort and breathe through it. Unless you're feeling pain, find the difference between discomfort and pain. Because if you're feeling pain, please come down. But if it's just a little bit of discomfort, try to take deeper breaths in and out. See if that makes a difference. Good. From here, we're going to bring the knees down for child's pose. We're going to sink the hips back. And for child's pose, we're going to bring the hands into prayer position. And we're going to bend the elbows and reach the hands behind the back of the head and add that stretch for the shoulders and the lats. If you need a little bit more, walk your elbows forward an inch. And let the head rest either onto the arms or the floor, wherever it goes. Nice big breaths. Possibly you might choose to sway the hips a little bit side to side to help anchor them downward towards the heels if they're not touching. And take another breath. Notice where the breath movement is as you breathe, maybe in your back, your low belly. And then we're going to come back to downward facing dog. Good. In your downward dog, we're just going to add a little movement here. Take a big breath in, and as you inhale, lift your heels away from the mat, coming up to your tippy toes. And then exhale all the air, let the heels fall back down or sink back downward towards the floor. They don't have to touch the floor. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift the heels, come to your tippy toes. Exhale, sink the heels back down. And then one more. Inhale, lift the heels, tippy toes, big breath in. Then big breath out, sink the heels downward towards the floor. 3 more breaths here just to hold, if possible. Good. We're going to roll forward to plank or knees come down for a modified plank, which is what I'm doing. We're going to lean forward, keep the arms in tight, lower all the way down, Chaturanga. Inhale, find your back bend of your choice. Baby Cobra, pointing the elbows up and back, or you can come up to Sphinx, or any of those. Take 3 breaths. Try to lengthen both the front and the back of your neck. doing a nice extension for the spine. Yeah, we're going to exhale, come down to rest, coming down to the palms if you're not already on your palms. We're going to press up through tabletop and come up to hands and knees. Then we're going to thread the needle. We're going to reach the right arm up to the sky, open it up, reach it up, try to find space in between your shoulder blades, reaching up, up, up. Feel the warmth start to build in that right shoulder blade. Good. Next breath in, prepare, and then breath out. We'll thread the needle, slide it behind the left. We'll thread the needle here. Head comes to rest on the floor or whatever. Whatever you want to do with that front arm. If you want to reach it or wrap it behind or keep it in front for nice support. Again, just paying attention to where the breath is going with each inhale. Try to also incorporate your inhales into your right shoulder blade, which I know you don't breathe directly into your muscles, but think about it as you inhale, you let go and relax the muscle so that you can really get in there and stretch that rhomboid muscle. Let's take 3 more here. We'll plant the left hand in front if it's not already. Inhale, press the floor away, reach the right arm back up to the sky. And you've done this before with me. We're going to straighten the right leg, come to the inner edge of that right foot for a modified side plank. And we're going to open up the right pectoral muscle as a counter pose, either reaching straight upward or let the hand fall back so that you can twist your heart to the ceiling. Good. Notice your left hand supporting you, getting all the way even through all 10 fingers, even in this pose. Practicing, that's called Hasta Bandha. Hasta meaning hand, and Bandha is to lock. So we're locking our hand onto the mat. And take one more breath in. And then we'll bring both hands back forward, both knees to the mat, and we'll take the other side once you're prepared. As you're ready, left arm comes up. Bring it on up. Take a few breaths as you prepare, opening up the space between the shoulder blades, building up some warmth for the left shoulder blade or rhomboid muscle specifically. And there's a couple of others there too, but that's the main one. Good. Take one more breath in and breath out. We'll thread the needle. And then you know what to do here. Do your stuff. I like to keep the front hand in front of me because then you can even add some pressure there to add more resistance, or you can just rest and use it as a way to make it more comfortable. And take a nice deep breath. You guys are doing really good. I'm sure you are. I know I can't see you guys all, but I know that you guys are doing great. We'll take 3 more breaths here so that it's even on both sides. And plant the right hand in front if it's not already. And inhale, we'll slowly press the floor away. Reach that left arm back on up to the sky. And we'll straighten the left leg long, come to the inside of the left foot, side plank. Twist the heart any amount to the ceiling. Open up the left chest or pectoral muscle. Ground and lock your hand that's on the mat. Good. Both hands come back forward. Both knees come to the mat. We're going to come to our Chaturanga, so find your modified plank, or you can come to a full plank if you'd like to. And exhale, lower all the way down, arms against the ribs. Chaturanga. We're going to interlace the hands behind your low back. Point the elbows up to the ceiling. Take a breath to prepare. Press through the tops of the feet onto the mat. And the next breath, we're going to peel away the heart, lift the heart, either keeping the knuckles onto your base of your spine, or if you're feeling open to this today, you can play with straightening the elbows any amount, if that floats your boat here. Good. Press through the tops of the feet. We'll just take 2 more breaths because we've already taken at least 1 here. Awesome. We'll come down to rest. Good. We'll take part 2. We'll reach the hands behind your back. Interlace the fingers the opposite way as you did before. Point the elbows up to the sky. Prepare the legs. And next inhale, we'll lift it up, peel the heart away. Whatever you want to do with either bent elbows or straight elbows. 3 big breaths here. Try to release the glutes. If you notice the glutes are engaged here, try to release that. Press through the tops of the feet, engage the core. Good. 1 more breath or so. Good. Once you've taken about 3, come down. You can rest. Good. As we're laying here, we're going to bend the knees and sway the feet side to side. We'll bring the palms to the mat, feet back to the mat. We'll come up and over through tabletop. Shift into child's pose, whatever arm variation you want to do with the arms. Take 3 breaths. You can count silently to yourself. Take 3 big breaths in your child's pose and just take a moment to come back to whatever your intention was that you began class with. Take those 3 breaths to just reflect on that intention. Take your time. We're going to meet in downward facing dog. I should put my hair out of the way. So come to downward facing dog, walk it out, relax the head once again. There we go. And then we're going to just walk the feet forward to forward folds. Bend the knees as needed. Let the head fall heavy. Touch the floor or your legs, your knees, wherever the hands need to go. Or if you happen to have props, or something to elevate the hands onto. And some of us might even sway the body side to side. Oh yeah, nothing like a good forward fold. Good. Let's take a big breath in together and lift halfway. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold back forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We'll do one more. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold, soften the knees. Lock both feet firmly into the mat. And then we'll inhale, sweep the arms out and up to standing. And exhale, hands to heart. Find Tadasana. This is where you can say, ta-da, Tadasana. I think a few weeks ago, we worked on eagle pose. So that's what we're going to do again today. So that's what we're going to work on. So we're going to first set up for chair pose. I know, chair pose, you're probably going, ugh. We won't do it for that long. Keep breathing. So we're going to keep about a fist distance between the feet. And first, we're going to find our eagle arm variation. So we're going to reach the arms forward. And I'm going to start by crossing the right arm over the left. I know I'm not mirroring you right now. So right over left. Bend the elbows. Either wrap the arms behind, as many of you know to do, or you can wrap one time or two times, whatever works here. Find that nice little space between the feet. Take a breath to prepare. Try to relax the shoulders downward and slightly lifting the elbows upward to be somewhat aligned with the shoulders. Doesn't have to be exact, but just until you feel that stretch into the shoulders. Good. We're going to scoop the low belly in. We're going to keep the tailbone slightly tucked, and we're going to sink the hips down to chair pose. You should be able to lift your toes and bring them back down. So the weight is mostly on the heels here. Scoop in the low belly and just play with shifting your weight to the left leg and coming up to the right toes. And you can kind of shift back and forth. Think about shifting the weight to the left leg. If you're feeling adventurous as you breathe here, you might even play with lifting it for a moment just to test the waters there. And if you feel like you're even ready to get a little bit funky, you can even lift it up and cross it over and just test your balance here. I've noticed that the deeper you sit, for some reason, it's easier to balance. Keep the belly scooped in, keep sitting nice and deep. We're not going to stay here too much longer. Rest when you need to. And this one is literally turning you into a pretzel. So this should be pretzel pose. Okay, we're going to unwind the legs, straighten the legs, sweep the arms out and up to the sky. That was a good practice. We're going to reach the hands behind your low back, interlace the fingers. Inhale, open up the heart. And exhale, bend your knees and fold forward. Elbows are bent or straight. Totally doesn't matter. Whatever variation helps you open up the shoulders. Hands can stay at the low back, or they might fall away from the low back towards the floor. Good. Release the hands from behind your back and let them trickle down to the floor in front of you. Inhale, lift yourself halfway. Exhale, refold forward. Inhale to rise, circle arms out and up to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart. We're going to practice the other side, and then we're going to move on from that. Let's see. I better check how much time I have to torch you. All right, we got time. Cool. We're going to sink. Well, actually, before we sink this, we'll reach the hands forward. Left arm reaches over. Bend the elbows once. Well, you can only bend your elbows once, can't you? So bend the elbows, either wrap once or wrap twice or wrap behind to reach for the shoulder blades. Set up for chair pose. Scoop in the low belly, get the low belly active. And then when you're ready, sink the hips down, chair pose. Once you get here, notice if the weight is mostly on the heels, which is good. And we're going to just practice shifting the weight to the right side. So coming up to the left toes and coming back down, shifting back and forth, sitting nice and deep. If you're feeling like you're ready, you can even lift it up for a moment, bring it back down. Or again, if you feel like you're ready, you can cross it over and sink nice and deep. And take your time, find your patience through breath, and know that this is a really hard pose. So that's why we're doing it today. It's a good way to start off our session of yoga. Start with the hardest. Good. Finish off strong with your practice. We're just practicing. We're not performing for anyone, especially the fact that we're at home doing this. So you're just by yourself doing this and no one's watching. Yeah, we'll take another breath or two to practice. And when you're ready, we're going to unwrap the legs. Straighten the legs, sweep the arms out and up to the sky. Nice big breath and stretch. Oh yeah. And then we're going to reach the hands back behind your low back. Interlace the fingers the opposite way. That feels weird. We'll inhale, open up the heart, either elbows are bent or straight. And we'll exhale, bend the knees, fold forward. Good. Release the hands to your low back and let them fall, trickle down to the floor in front of you. We'll inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, refold, and we're gonna just tiptoe back to downward dog. Good. From your downward dog, we're going to inhale, roll forward to plank or modified plank. And we'll come all the way down, Chaturanga. Inhale, peel the heart forward, any back bend. Exhale, come down to rest. And as you breathe, take your time. You can either stay on your belly here if this feels like the correct restful position, or if you're ready, you can come up and over to child's pose. Whichever one of those two poses. And either one, come back to your intention again. Just reflect as you breathe. Take another breath or so. And take your time. We're going to come to our backs. Finally. We're going to come to our backs. So get nice and situated there. And we're going to kind of continue that child's pose stretch by hugging the knees into the chest, squeezing them in nice and tight. Imagine you're squeezing your legs as if you're hugging a really good friend that you haven't seen in years. I'm going to give them a good squeeze. Rock side to side if you wish, or just be still. We're going to reach the arms out to a T, and we're going to let your knees fall to one side. Stack the knees, or if you have space, you can straighten the legs if you like. It's a little bit of a deeper twist. And we'll turn the head any amount to the left or straight ahead. Nice deep breaths, nice mindful breaths. One more breath here. Then inhale, we're going to hover your knees back through center, head back to center. And then we're gonna take the other side. So letting the knees fall to the other side and take a nice twist. Turning the head if you'd like, or keeping it neutral. We'll take one more breath in our twist on this side. I could stay here forever. I love twisting. We're going to inhale. When you're ready, come back to neutral. And then we're just going to take some happy baby. You can take a variation where you bring the feet together. That's one variation, or feet apart. Knees come in towards the armpits. You can rock side to side or be still, as you know. And just find that happy baby. Massaging that low back. And opening up the hips. This is good for digestion, as I've told you many times, I'm sure. But it's always good to remember what these poses do. Because this pose, it seems like almost nothing, but it really is doing quite a bit. It's a really good pose to start or end your day with. Is this exact pose right here. And then let's finish off with a full body stretch. Let's straighten the legs and the arms long. Nice big stretch like a cat laying on the floor, when they're trying to lay in a little spot of sunlight and they're stretching. Point through the toes, reach to the fingertips. You might even add like a side body stretch here if you'd like. You can stretch on either side. And then any last other poses, you might feel inclined to take a heart opener like bridge by lifting the hips, or just another variation of hugging the knees in, and just taking any last movements or stretches that you'd like to end your asana practice with, your physical practice. Ooh, that was my back. Hear any loud popping noises, it's my joints. And get comfortable. Take another, take another like 30 seconds to a minute or so while I scoot forward here to get set up here. And just take any of those last movements that you need to do. Let's see. Perfect. I'm going to take a nice Savasana today. So just getting set up for that. Oh, and my light died. That's okay. I gotta get a better thing to charge my light with, but that's okay. You guys can see me. So get comfortable for Savasana. I'm gonna sit on this pillow here. So find a good position laying down. If you need to change where you are, if you need to go to your nearest furniture for that, or if you need to just set up some pillows and blankets on your mat, or if you just want to sit down or lay down on the mat, that's totally fine. So once you get comfortable laying down, we're going to bring both hands to your belly. just at your belly button, your low belly. And closing the eyes if they're not already closed. Letting the eyes roll back a little bit naturally as the eye muscles slowly start to relax. All the forehead muscles and the facial muscles. Your ears, throat. Chest, shoulders, arms. Feeling the movement of your breath into your hands. And before we just let go for Savasana, I'm going to start us off with some Pranayama. That's why I wanted to start our Savasana a little earlier today. So our Pranayama, or our expansion of the breath, which is what it means. Prana meaning energy or life energy or breath. And ayama means to expand. So pranayama. So next time we take a breath in, breathe in normally. And then exhale all the air from the lungs. We're going to inhale to the count of 4. So inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the inhale into the low belly, feeling the breath into your hands like a balloon. And then we're going to exhale to 8. Exhaling 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale to 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the inhale in the low belly. And then exhale to 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to continue at your own pace because my numbers might not be the right numbers for each person. So customize the numbers. All that matters is that your inhale is half the amount as your exhale. So whatever number you inhale to, whether that be 2, then you'll exhale to 4. If you inhale 3, you'll exhale 6. If you inhale 5, you'll exhale 10, and so on. So find the right ratio of numbers for you. Maybe challenge yourself. Try the 4 and 8, maybe 5 and 10. And we're going to take just a couple rounds of this exact breath. And this breath is meant to help slow down the heart rate a little bit, help to relax the mind, release some serotonin into the brain. Inhaling to your number of choice, filling that balloon. Exhaling to your number of choice, deflating the balloon. take 1 or 2 more rounds of your counting. And once you exhale all the air from your final round there, you can continue back to your natural breath and allow your hands to be where they're comfortable, whether they stay on your belly or on your body, or if you would like, you can let the hands come to either side onto your mat. And just allowing these next just few moments to observe and breathe Shavasana. awareness back to your breath. Taking a big full breath in and exhaling the breath out through the mouth. Starting to wiggle fingers and toes and any other parts of the body. You can make small movements to bring it back to this moment. Start to slowly roll over to one side, stacking your knees and resting the head. And as you come to your side, I ask you to think of one or a couple things that you're grateful for. Once you found your gratitude, start to slowly come up to seated. Sitting tall and bringing hands together in front of the heart. Bowing the chin forward to your chest, I ask you here silently to yourself, how does it feel right now to be you in your body in this very moment? Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you so much. Namaste.